Dear Diary, today's hot topic is on religion. So I gotta ask, religion, why make everyone the same? Insane how we are all unique, yet stains the same around paths that never crossed. The minds are separate, but sane eyes stay glossed. With the same hate for those that try to exhaust narrow definitions that permafrost centuries lost, yet echoes hasn't sought the promised return, deceived flocks left in droughts. Prayers, especially on holy days, thinking rain and rays will bring bless me's. Twisted thinking brings blasphemy. Thicken rains and rays, just limit your praise, not for all, but those that display the same. Hello, it's Lotus and welcome to Healing with Yoga and Creativity. As you can tell by that little poem intro, today we'll be exploring a hot topic, which is religion, and that poem inspired me at looking at the Abrahamic religion and realizing how the Abrahamic religion, regardless if it's Islam, Judaism, or Christianity, their goal is to make everyone the same based on their perspective books. You know, when we die, if you want to get to heaven, according to them, that's what they believe. But I think it's insane how we have this, well, not me, but they have the same hate for people who try to exhaust, i.e. that try to step out of their narrow definitions that have literally been centuries and centuries of this perma-thought on humanity's progress. And so it left a lot of people, like I call them flocks, like, you know, like it left them in drought. They really think that Muhammad or the Messiah or Jesus, whoever that they think their promised return is coming back. So yeah, and so today's video will be exploring mainly the Islamic side. Like, you know, I was born to abusive Muslims who really tainted my perception of Islam, but honestly it's just not them, it's the community too. Like, I've never met toxic individuals who weren't Muslim. Like, you know, all the toxic people that I've met, they were practicing Muslims, but I just realized they're just trauma and ignorant, you know? And so with that being said, a lot of Islam was indoctrinated into me. You know, I didn't have the choice as a child to be like, you know what? I don't believe that a man flew up into the sky on some flying donkey, that this flying donkey that doesn't exist. And when I asked that, I got yelled at and I got hit. And what did that tell me at 8 years old? You know, what did that tell me? That you can't question Islam. And then what we see on TV, like, heaven forbid you question Islam or whatever, like, they will literally kill you. And so now that I've been doing that healing work, I am not afraid, you know, I'm not afraid to actually voice my opinion. And if Muslim people get pissed off, I don't care. They can be like, she's not Muslim. Well, joke's on them. I was indoctrinated, okay? And so there's a lot of things that never sat well with me. The biggest one being like this notion that Muslims carry, that before the Quran was sent, like this divine purpose, that humanity was barbaric. Okay, you can say Arabs were barbaric, that Middle East part where Judaism, Christianity, and Islam came out of, like that one area, that area is barbaric. I can say that for sure, because look at their book. They needed a book to tell them, hey, be kind, like, But anyway, now that I'm older, I can see that that is a 100% lie. There are religions older than Christianity, Judaism, like that are older than Abrahamic religion, that have humanity in them, that have principles, that aren't barbaric. One being, example, Hinduism. Hinduism has a tenet of well, like, you know, they have a, is it dharma, or like, you know, they have principles where their biggest ones being non-violence, non-greed, you know. And then we have, from my indigenous land, Africa, we have beautiful animism, or even like ancient Egypt, you know, like they had their own laws that were governed based on a nature, but also respecting all living beings, you know. And so I reject that notion that before the Quran came, the, well, maybe Arabs, maybe Arabs were barbaric. You can say that to them, but don't say that my people were barbaric. Don't say that Africans were barbaric. We were not barbaric. They came to us and enslaved us, so they are the ones that are barbaric, okay? And so that was number one. And then a lot of the things I didn't like was like this whole notion of non-believers going to hell or like being punished. As a child, I didn't believe the moment that I was told that Muhammad went to the heavens on a fucking flying donkey. And I asked, like, I'm a kid, so I'm thinking like visually that there's this flying donkey that comes, and I'm like, oh, where is this? I've never seen it. I want to see this flying donkey. And the reaction of my father was to yell at me and hit me. And that just showed me that I can't question religion. And so when I questioned it at Quran schools, same thing. They yelled at me and they told my parents that I asked too much questions. Asked if that's a bad thing. And then I got in trouble at home. So religion taught me that I had to suppress myself and fit in, i.e. be indoctrinated to survive. And then also, it never sat right with me about Aisha and Muhammad marrying all these women. No, that's fucking weird. And being gifted slave women, no. That land had slavery, and so obviously they're barbaric. You know, if people are okay with owning women and property as property, that's a barbaric place. So yeah, I guess Arabs were barbaric, and they needed Muhammad to tell them, hey, you can do it now. But anyway, for those that like, I'm pretty sure people are gonna be like, oh, she's not a real Muslim. She doesn't know the Quran. Yes, okay. I speak only English. My mother tongue is Somali. Lakin Somali ke no. And that's another thing. Somalis, I hope that we can actually wake up and realize that these are not our friends. This is not our religion. This is not for us. Look at the state of Islam. Look at the state of Islam, but look at the state of Somalia. I fled Somalia because of the war, and 35 years later, it's still ravaging. And yeah, deceived flocks left in drought. But anyway, I wanted just to start off to what this video will be. It will be talking about religion. I'm going to be comparing the Quran to what my current path is. I am not a Hindu. However, I am learning about the heart of yoga. And in the heart of yoga, there is the Yoga Sutras. So the Yoga Sutras, I would consider, it's a religious text, I guess. It's equivalent to the Quran in that way. So it's perfect to compare the wisdom and knowledge. As you can see, I have a lot of thoughts. The wisdom and knowledge in the Yoga Sutras, and comparing it to the Quran. So I do not have the Quran. I don't have anything that reminds me of Islam in my place. I refuse to have even the prayer mat. I only have my yoga mat. That is the mat that I need. And I don't have the Quran in this place. But thanks to technology, the Quran is going to be on this little tablet. And so to start off with, I want to address, so I was indoctrinated. I've never read the Quran. And to survive praying 5 times a day, your girl had to memorize some verses and whatnot. And obviously, me being me, I memorized the most shortest and most easiest verses, you know? And so I'm not going to say it because it's basically, it's been a while since I actually said these things. Like, I've never looked into the translation. For example, like, there is this one verse I remember, obviously I'm not Arabic. Oh my gosh, am I forgetting? Oh, there we go. Allahu samadun lam yalid wa lam yulid. I had to Google that because obviously I can't speak Arabic, and that's one of my biggest disconnect. I didn't believe that this is the right path because how is Allah going to be communicating with me in Arabic when A, I can't even speak it clearly, yet I had to speak it to pray to him in this language that him and I only could communicate. But then when I'm done praying that in Arabic, I could say my dua saying, "Oh Almighty, please forgive my sin. Oh Almighty, please make me skinny." Fun fact, I used to pray to be skinny, and fun fact, when I stopped being Muslim, guess who got skinny? So yeah, those prayers never got answered. But anyway, that is one short verse that I remembered. Another is كلهولا منك الناس عليه الناس من شر وسواس الخناس. Again, don't quote me on the pronunciation. I know I suck because I'm not Arabic, hence why God doesn't speak Arabic, okay? But I'm just showing that this is shit that was indoctrinated in me, and I'm trying to bring it. It's been like 10 years since I prayed. Yeah, it's been over 10 years. So obviously I'm losing it. And then, so there was that one. And then the last one was Tabbat ya Abid Wanat. Tabbat ya da Abid Wadat Manakun. Yeah. Anyways, I Googled that. I was lucky too that Google like understood me. And so I was curious what those verses meant. And it turns out that obviously, like, so basically the way that the Quran is set up is like the longest surahs or verses are at the beginning, and towards the end are like the shorter verses. And so your girl memorized those shortest versions ever. And so every time I was in Quran, I would only just recite those 3 ones. And when I'm praying, I would only recite those 3 prayers. And again, I didn't understand what they meant until recently. And yeah, it was fucked. So for example, let's start off with, let's play the audio, but we're not going to play the full audio so that way you can see that I was right. So it's this one. Okay, we're going to stop there. Shut up. Okay, we shut it there. All right, see, that was what I was trying to pronounce. And so according to Quran.com, because I don't have any Quran, but I'm guessing this is a reputable website, you know? So it goes off like this. O Prophet, he is Allah, one and indivisible. Allah, the sustainer needed by all. He has never had an offspring, nor was he born. I feel like that's a shot at Christianity. And there is none comparable to him. And so that is what I was saying in Arabic, which is really weird. It does absolutely nothing for me as a child. And obviously I didn't understand it until a few years ago when I started looking to what was I saying, because like I'm a firm believer that this is incantation and this is spells, and what the fuck is this shit? You know, like, he has never had an offspring, nor was he born. That is a shot at Christianity and their whole Jesus, Son, Father, which is really stupid on its own, you know? So that is one verse. And then let's go to the next. And then this is the other one. Yeah, Tabbat yada. Okay, let's shut you up. Alright. Yeah, so this one, let's read the English translation. So it goes like this. I laugh at this. I can't believe I was saying this as a child. So it starts off with, may the hands of Abu Lahab perish and he himself perish. God damn, that is intense. I can't believe I as a kid was saying this shit. May the hands of Abu Lahab perish, he himself perish. Who the fuck is Abu Lahab? Apparently that is his uncle. Let me Google it before. Who is he? Okay, he is the half uncle of Muhammad. So Muhammad had hatred for him, literally, to be like, God told him this. I don't think God would tell you this. And that's the thing, like, we don't speak Arabic. So I wonder how many Muslims who don't speak Arabic actually know what they are saying. Because may the hands of Abu Lahab perish and he himself perish. I have no beef with this Abu Lahab. So why would I wish such horrible things on him? I'm sorry, but like, I was a child, so I hope you can forgive me in the afterlife. I didn't mean that for you. And anyway, so it goes on. Neither his wealth nor worldly gains will benefit him. So I guess he was rich and Muhammad is jealous. He will burn in a flaming fire. God damn. Ah, and so will his wife, the carrier of thorny kindling. Around her neck will be a rope of palm fiber. And that's it. I can't believe this is some fucked up shit that we are teaching kids to recite. Again, Somalis, wake up. Learn what you are saying. Because I really believe that, like, we are cursing this man, Abu Lahab, and his poor wife in present day. Since the day Muhammad was born, we're still cursing them. It's insane. Oh my gosh. Like, that is one hell of an opening. May the hands of Abu Lahab perish and he himself perish. He is already gone. Why are we still cursing this poor man? And then why are we cursing his poor wife too? Saying that so will his wife, the carrier of thorny kindling. Around her neck will be a rope. God damn, that is fucking violence, okay? Anyway, so let's move on to the last one. Which is Minikin Nas, I think. So let's play it. قل أعوذ برب الناس. Nas. I say Nas. Minikin Nas. Okay, see, this is when I remembered. And so when I'm doing this, in Somali, this means Nas, you know? Nasahe. So as a child, I used to laugh, be like, oh my gosh, why are we talking about breast, you know? Minikin nas, alayhin nas, my nas, you know? Anyways, obviously this is Arabic. I don't know, it just sounds similar to what Somalis call breast, nas. So let's read the translation. Say, O Prophet, I seek refuge in the Lord of humankind, the Master of humankind, the God of humankind, from the evil of lurking whisperers, who whisper in the hearts of humankind, from among jinn and humankind. And that's it. Like, he's asking for protection. I seek refuge in the Lord. And so this seems like from the evil of the lurking whisperer. He's hearing shit, folks. He's hearing evil in his head. Like, this is a man that's not mentally there. And it would make sense because he's going around saying, hey, I flew on a donkey and went all the way up to heaven. And apparently that was all in his dream, in his sleep. Like, all his revelations was coming from him going to sleep and be like, oh my gosh, you guys, Allah just came to me in my dream and told me that I could marry your daughter even though she is 6. Yes, that did happen to Aisha. Apparently, he went to Aisha's father and was like, hey, Abu Bakr, or whatever his name is, Allah told me in a dream that your daughter will be my soon-to-be wife. And he was like, oh my gosh, my daughter's only 6. Hell no, are you sure? But they still went through with it. Yeah. But anyway, that is to just show you how messed up the Quran is, in my humble opinion. And we can see, you just gotta read the translation for yourself. And this is why I am on the path of yoga, because I am healing, hence the whole name, Healing with Yoga and Creativity. This is what's been helping me. And I am Lotus Uba signing off. I hope you like that chaotic interpretation of reading the Quran and comparing it to the Yoga Sutras. Shout out to the Hindus, they know what they're doing. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Peace.